In this game, Robin plays black and Cezary plays white. It was a crazy game. So Robin plays this large knight's move as an answer. I like this answer very much. And then white immediately goes into the corner, which is a good move, just like key, of course. And then usually black would extend and white would play here. Now black might continue, but it's also fine. It's also all right to tenuki. And yeah, just play elsewhere. This move is not super big. Now actually the stone at A is very well placed. It's much better placed than it would be at B, because then black's group would be much weaker. But black chooses a different move, which is a bit unusual. Usually we see this move in some special situations where black wants to focus more on getting points on that side, or I don't know, like difficult to describe, but probably mostly this, that focus more on that side than on the right side. After which white plays this and Cayman. This is a very good move. If white plays a bit more simple moves like this, then black actually gets a very beautiful influence. So this Cayman, what is the idea? Black would like to block, but then white can go here, and it's impossible to split white. Actually, black might consider such a variation, but probably it's good for white. Yes, probably it's good for white, though I'm not sure what to do now. Cut here, then retake, and then go back, maybe like this. Maybe just go back for now. Maybe like this. If black doesn't answer, then later we might play here, but we might also play here and here, though black will all the time be taking the ko. Black will be all the time taking the ko. Yeah, anyway, after this move, usually black plays here. I think this is the most common move, but in the game black played this one, which looks for me a little bit like black prepared this move. I didn't see it, so I don't know if this is actually better than this one. For me, it looks a bit more thin because it leaves cutting points, but cannot be too bad. It most importantly blocks white from the outside, and white crawl. Yes, white crawl. This looks like a good continuation. And then if white is forced to crawl once more, then maybe black is already satisfied. On the other hand, if white does not do it, then black can play here, and if white goes there, then white's group is not completely alive yet. How to live like this, right? So white decided to play here to make sure that the group is more alive, and then cut. And this cut looks premature to me. But what to do? Well, maybe just play elsewhere. And if black plays here, probably we don't want to lose that stone because this would strengthen black too much. On the other hand, this also looks a bit satisfactory for black. So in the end, in the game, white cuts. Active move, but black has a very beautiful counter. This squeeze, and then just extend. Yes, so white is left with a dumpling, and there is another cutting point in black's shape, but it's not very much usable, at least for now. It's not possible to play it. Like this we should play, or what? Ah, no, sorry. How should we play? Maybe like this? Perhaps like this. White pushes first, that's a good idea, but I think that black didn't need to extend. So first of all, we might play here, but this makes it a bit easier for white. But we also might play Hane. Yes, there is a possibility of a cut, but I think that it's all much more risky for white than for black. So in the game, black extends, but then white has one more liberty, so white starts a fight. Still, the fight is quite risky for white. White basically cut black so strongly, but this group is already alive. That group is also not too thin, and white's groups are very thin. So a bit unusual choice by white. Then white doesn't want to lose that dumpling. Black goes out, and then white plays this one. And this is an interesting moment. Black answered, but this let white put more pressure on black's group and get more of an outside. At such point, it's often useful to stop and to think: is it really necessary to save the tail of my group, or maybe like a lizard, I can sacrifice the tail? Maybe there are more important things on the board. White has just played all these exchanges, so now white's dumpling became much heavier. So maybe we can actually spend some time for an attack on the dumpling. Who knows? Who knows how to attack it and what will happen with all of it? Maybe just play once and then continue, or like always we can think of just sacrificing. Not sure. We can play also very directly. But after all, like this also looks like a good move, unless we die, unless white has a way to just capture us. But this should not be the case. I wouldn't really believe it, though. Not easy for black either. Somehow white didn't play this move. We would need to ask Cezary what he was afraid of. White jumped, and then black has a bit easier way on the right side. And then again, a bit calm move. I would heavily consider playing like this, though probably white has less liberties than black. But even though white has less liberties, it's possible to just leave it for later. For now, we can, I don't know, play such a move, and then maybe it already will work. Or we also might attach here. If black answers, then it might be very dangerous for black. So black would probably need to play a move around here, and then we might change the topic, though it might be a bit too much to give away. So probably this attachment is too much of a gote for now. But playing a move around here should totally be an option. And then, well, black cannot play Hane, so black needs to go into this variation. And who knows how such a fight will finish. Yeah. In the game, white just let black connect all his stones. In exchange, white got some outside. But still, I think that the game is good for black. Black has one group, white has two groups. Very simple judgment. Yes, black is forced into the second line, but white also doesn't have many points there. And in the future, black will be able to reduce it even more. Yeah, for now, black jumps out, white jumps out, and so on. Black gets a beautiful shape, quite strong one. Not much weakness left. Here white was very careful and remembered to make the good exchanges. Black jumps out, white pushes. This push a bit surprises me because it looks a bit slow. Why not a dog's head or maybe even a horse's head? We don't need to be afraid of such a variation because this bump is white center, threatening to cut black. We might play it even right away if we are afraid that later black might not answer. Yes, so this bump is center, and yeah, it looks more active to play around here and not just a push. Then black gets a moment to attack that group, and the game becomes very suspicious for white, I would say. White needs to somehow manage this weak group, but it's very much not easy. It might require giving a lot to black on the outside. White tries to play more active, but this looks crazy because now this peep becomes very much working. And I am a bit doubtful about a sacrifice strategy, sacrificing such a group for the sake of living small on the bottom. Maybe not too small, but still might be not enough, especially that the other group is still a bit weak. So if I was black, I would consider playing here right away. Of course, it's also possible to just play calm and wait with that move. Maybe play it now. But white should probably somehow protect that double cutting point. In the game, it went different way. Black took a bigger corner, but gave white more freedom on the outside. But then black plays this double peep, and it seems that black can manage to cut off a big group of white. 10, 20, 10 stones, right? So 20 points plus 5, 5, 5. So 35 points. That's quite big. That's quite big. Probably enough for having a comfortable game. But then white picked the ace from his sleeve, played this wedge. Then black answered. And then white wedged again, and suddenly 5 stones were dead. If black plays here, then white goes there, and again the stones are dead. But this result is very good for white because white both managed to play on the bottom and then to still connect both groups, again with that group, and get 10 points by capturing 5 stones. This is already a good game for white for sure. But actually, black had a different way. Black could play here. And then can white do anything? If white plays here, black plays this one. It's a double threat. If white plays here, black plays here. Very simple. So white played an unexpected move, so we should be really careful right now. Maybe it works, but maybe we have some answer, and we shouldn't just be lazy to read at such a moment of a game. This was a very decisive moment. If black manages to split white, and get those 30 points, still keeping that group under some pressure, then the game would be good for black. But like this, the game becomes good for white. Then black approaches. I am not completely sure about the direction of play. Maybe better to approach from here because later there will be some problem for white. But maybe black was just a bit not sure how to use it, how to use that agi. So let white build a territory on the bottom, and the game continues. White plays very simple, kind of declaring his self-confidence. Just protects the corner. Black invades the other corner, but destroys a lot of territory, but also white gets a lot of potential in exchange. Yeah. Interesting choice by white, but I think it's a bit unusual to play this peep. Better to play on the side first, because then white cannot really play a move like this. Like maybe white can, but it's a bit risky. If black manages to live here and then still play there, then white might need actually to extend. But this is, of course, a slower move, and we might extend this afterwards. Yes. How to judge this big exchange? Well, I think no point to think what is bigger. we need to just count points. 13, 16, 20, 21, 30 plus potential, maybe 35, 40, 50. Black has 50 points, and white has 10, 12, 20, 40, 50, 5, maybe even more, plus combi. So it seems that white is good. White is good. Black would need to get more points on the left side than white. A few more points, which looks a bit unrealistic because white is so strong around here. If black cannot somehow save the 2 stones, then it should be good for white. And now black even decides to worry about the central group, which is of course now under pressure, but then this gives too much freedom to white. If I was white, I would rather play from the other side and not here. This strengthens black, but still white has a good game, and white just continued and finished up. Winning by, I think, by more than Komi. We can count quickly. 10, 19, 29, 36, 45, 6, 54 for black. White has 3 more captured stones, and white has 25, 35, 45, 46, 53. Plus capture stones, 56. Yes, so already on the board, white has 2 points advantage, it seems. All right, so this is it about this game, and we can move to the next one. Goshpur asks if I do any private lessons. Currently, I don't. Currently, my Go teaching is only for such groups like the IGLO League and EGF Academy. And unfortunately, I have a I have a regular job, so I don't have time for getting also a side job as a Go teacher. All right, let's move to the next game. Let's move to the next game.